I tell you, it's wild, ain't it? I got so much red to use. We're just using all red until I need to use something. We'll leave some impasto. Impasto is the thick shit. Let's not get a general, like... I'm gonna start asking these guys to just send me reference pictures of your face looking up and looking in different directions just so I can, But that's definitely not gonna work. Clear your cache. Never cleared my cache in my life. I love my cache being clear. I love my cache being full. That won't make me fucking a little shitty. Maybe. I wish I had some of those like oil sticks, like I saw that one guy use on his shit. Looks like it was real wet though. They're like $10 a stick or something. You gotta really fucking be wanting to sell some fucking art, you know. I almost dipped that in my tea. Every time. I can't have a jug of liquid around here right now. Damn, that was not colorful at all. I need more colorful. I'm trying to make my mind up if I weren't looking up or down. His face looks, his mouth, I'm looking at, looks kind of course, it's stylized what we're doing here. Definitely stylized. We use a little bit of white and some black. I don't want to go crazy. Got a bigger brush. I do want some more red, but not here. I want to use some black ink here and then. That's true. Blood is definitely red. I don't know if people want to buy art that's made with somebody's real blood. It's like that woman who was knitting sweaters with her pussy yarn. Yeah. There's nothing in error that I said there. Apart from leaving it vague to make you think that the lady produces yarn with her pussy. But yeah, she stuffed a bunch of yarn up her coat and slowly knit like nothing but like a big length, maybe like a scarf, a width about that big. Just knit it while she sat naked right out of her vagina. And she did it over the course of like a few months, so that there were splotches of the yarn that was stained with her blood. Yeah. They probably paid her for it. She got a grant to cover the few months that she dedicated to it, I'm sure. I can't even buy food. I'm gonna start knitting sweaters with my pussy yarn. Oh, I'm sure there's a vagina variant of everything you can do. All right. There's a lady out there right now painting with her pussy. She's just laying her coot right on the fucking canvas. Coot. Just living the fucking dream. Living the dream. If you can consider that a dream. However you want to create art. Just make it good now. I can lay my hog on this if anybody wants to pay me extra for it. I can call it something special. I'm gonna take some other like extra shit off here because it's always something like that. I always make it a little too big, a little too wide. You know? Let's use a small one. Let's just fucking cut it. I got a cutter right over here. It's easier that way. Just don't know. I just gotta be careful with how I cut it. That way I know where I'm in there and when I'm not. Because when I was framing something not long ago, or looking at framing something, I reminded myself of why it is important to have like a border, or at least a general border. However kind of art you want to make. Yeah, that's right. Alright, folks, if you fill the commission giveaway bar, we will give away a commission for everyone who participates in the giving. But Patrick, what happens if I fill it all by myself? Well, I guess I'll do the commission for you. But Patrick, what if I only got $5? Well, when the time comes that bar's full, we'll do a giveaway, and you'll be entered into it. Every little bit counts towards the goal. Right, folks? I love art. I love contributing to artists. That's what keeps the world in motion. Without art, we'd all suffer and die. The hands of sadness and pain, something or whatever. I don't fucking know. Whatever gets you to give. I don't give a shit. It smells good. Just give because this smells good. I touched my nose. Is there black on my nose? Probably not, because it's really loose. Perfect. Perfect. Don't look at me. Don't judge me. Your fucking judging eyes. I'll sniff a marker all I want. That's how the artist tethers himself to the work. The cook, a pastry chef, eats their pastries, don't they? Let's get off my back. You gotta smell your own art. It's important. Right, Ray? Ray's not here. And there ain't no fucking way Ray took more than 10 seconds to eat. She ravages food. I forget this is also on this song. Maybe where I heard it initially. I love it though. Silent Hill. Can't hear it drip. Be nice if we crank it up to 11. Get up. Yeah. That's a way of doing it. Thumping the old cheek while you. Ouch. You gotta do it just right though. You know. A way of doing it to where, you know. Ooh. There's not like a good hot or herbal tea, right? I need to do these on a larger scale. And then have a magazine interview me and then tell them some pretentious shit. That's what I'm going to have to do. I mean, to be fair, like there's a lot, I have a lot of takes on art that is important, but I don't know. Sometimes I hear some artists talk shit, and I'm like, art is important. I will be the first to tell you. If anything in this life is important, art is also important. Because there's very little, to be fair, when you boil it down to just existence in general, there's very little that is important. You are not even important. I am not even, none of us are important. And yet here we are placing importance on things that we need. So like, art in itself is, if you were to think that anything in this life is important, welcome to the art is important group, because you have to think art is important if you think that's important. It may not be something you want to buy, but you have to understand its importance in the world. Now, if you have money, dare I say, it's nice to adorn your house with art, because I don't think, if it's nice and pretty, I get it, right? I would go so far as to say that you don't even have to like the art, as in, like, you know how like fashion, you probably would want to wear it, you know, if you're going to wear that fashion, like those shades, the shirt, the design on the shirt, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to like it to adorn your house and clothes with it. But there's much art that I enjoy that I would never put in my house, or I would never put on my body, you know? But does that mean that I shouldn't try to preserve the beauty of the art and the artist, the person creating it? No. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I meant to say was yes, but I thought I was going down the wrong path. Point is, you need to support the arts. You don't have to support with like powerful piles of money, because we live in a very consumer-driven society. Telling someone that art exists is like you're giving them money, because eventually, for word of mouth, the right human being with the right amount of money will buy art. I know, because I see the analytics on my art. Many look, you know, but eventually there's someone who buys it. You know what I'm saying? So just by my micro like example, like me being like, you know, this little tiny area here, that's the thing. Any of this art could go up in price and be you know, like valued higher, different things. Like, the thing is like, you know, I don't necessarily believe that art is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Could you buy a piece of art from me for hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes. But I feel like I would 100%, it would have to be worth that hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'd have to put months of effort into it, or it would have to be done with certain techniques and paintings or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if like I could just crank one out. I mean, granted, yeah, it would be cool, you know, to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I've always said, you know, I've always thought about it recently, is like, if I were to get to that point, I would milk it for a while to manifest enough money so I could make a difference in the world beyond just cars and, you know, clothing. I don't think I would have clothes that I liked, but it would never be expensive. I've been poor for too long for opulence to get its grip on me anymore. But I would have a compound of art and tools to make art. Example, I would have a place where I could sling pots and make pottery, even if I never wanted to do pots. But the thing is I would like to have an area that was a few houses, some land, a workshop, big one, with tools in it. So if I don't want to sling pots, someone could come visit me and sling and make some pots. A potter could come and teach me how to do it while I fucking hang out with him, and we just, you know, in the evenings we sit in a fucking rocking chair and just look at shit and talk. Just exist, creating art. Do classes, some free, some not, who gives a shit. Figure out a way to maximize the income there, so that way, after I got my money and burned it using it, I would tank my value by selling my art again somewhere where it would be lower tier and affordable, and then I would be back down to normal humans art, because I do think that people, like, I don't know if there's like, I get the finite existence in that an artist is alive and dead and things like the money you need to pay them, you know, if you enjoy what they're doing, like with art, like music or, you know, things like that. Like, but I don't know if, and it may be coming from me not valuing myself very highly or something. I don't know, but I just don't know if like millions of dollars, like there's not enough, there's too many fuckers starving in the world, you know what I'm saying? Presently myself, to think that people need to spend millions. I understand why a lot of it's a grift. Like, places want to make millions. They need a tax. They need somewhere to dump their tax dollars for their business. You know, they need to buy some fucking art. But they need to invest in this art, and that art needs to turn a dividend. Now, maybe I would never be valued that high because of the idea of tanking my own artwork after it becomes rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to buy that art and spend millions of dollars on it and then be able to flip it in the future. So the art dealer, you know, and the art purchaser, basically like an investment. They're investing in this piece of art because right now it's worth $100,000. But if Papa uses his business money to hide it from the government, he can sell this later down the line to another motherfucker. He may never hang it up, but he can always keep the grift going. So they're just kicking the can down the road to where the next person will buy it for $150,000 because of their business. But then they have it and it goes back around. And then, God forbid, I pass away, then it becomes gangbusters. And then they sell it for hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always... It's almost to a point to where money doesn't exist. It doesn't matter anymore at that point, where they're just literally making, like... It's like Bitcoin or something. They're throwing away, you know, money on things that don't really exist in the hope that they will exist or they can exist for more. And just adjusting... You know, like moving money around for no reason. You know. You heard Pat getting philosophical from the other room. That's true. It's hard to... It's like... It's a hard conversation to have when it comes to art, because on one hand, I'm an artist. And I create. And there's importance in creativity and art and making things happen, because I won't exist for much longer. You know, like, we're all going to die. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to get it now while you can. Like, and on the other hand, I feel like there's a cutoff point to where someone says, oh, well, this piece of artwork is worth $40 million or $1 million. I'm like, okay, come the fuck on. You know? Stop tugging me, dude. That's stupid. You know? Especially if someone's, you know, still alive, or I don't know, like, yes, you should make money. Yes, you should be able to live comfortably. I don't know. I feel like some of the high-tier artwork is just rich people moving money around. It's the point. That's correct. But still, I don't know. I want to make money. I want to be able to live. I don't need riches and power. I just would like to be power over my own existence. That's all I crave. You know, I don't need power over other people, and they shouldn't want to wield power over me. We should all be powerful and have power over our own selves. That's it. Be able to feed and clothe ourselves. You can't drive 8 cars. Why have them? You know, I can't wear, there's no need. First off, clothes shouldn't be $80, $200 a shirt and things like that. Like, that's bullshit. You know? Especially when it comes to, like, the fucking, all those, like, designer clothes. You know, like, I know the Kanye shirts that are like $200 for a white t-shirt. Like, come on, motherfucker. That wasn't made in any place else. They probably made in the same area. Like, should it, you know, I'm not, you know, yeah, you should, I don't know. I seen a thing with 50 Cent, the rapper, talking about how he made millions of dollars through selling water, because he bought a percentage share and invested it in a water company, and then they sold for, you know, a shitload, and he made hundreds of millions because he was, like, back in the water and talking about it. And he made reference to the, you know, Like, people were looking at it as if it were something to praise. He was talking about, it's like, oh, well, I went into the gas station and it was like water for $2.50 and there was water for 59 cents. And, it's just basically you can't tell the difference between the water. It's just about, people just assume you want to pay more for a name. And that's why I got in the water game. And people, this TikTok, they were praising it, thinking about how the entrepreneurial spirit. Why would you want to be excited about the exploitation of people over fucking water? Like, it'd be different if it was something that no one needed or no one really needed. But food and water are the fundamentals of existence, not just human existence, And you're telling me, you're bragging about the fact that you you invested in the company, hoard the shit out and made people want it more. And then sold out and like you're fucking people out of water and like, yeah, I think it was a luxury water anyway, like vitamin water. I don't know, Jizz water. I can't remember what it was, but it's still the same. It's water, It's just, I don't know. There's only so much exploitation that I can allow, I've grown accustomed to despising opulence more in the past decade than ever before, especially in the past few years. Like, I look at it as like not a point of pride, but a point of like negative judgment. Like, I look at you and I judge you accordingly because you thirst for something that is shouldn't even be something that you want to grasp, like cars like that are really, really expensive, like, and shit like that, just because you want some kind of clout. Like, why would you want to chase the mindset? Why would you want to chase the love and appreciation of people who are not worth a fuck? Like, why would you want to be in a relationship with a significant other who values your opulence only? When I look at someone on a dating site, I don't look at their clothes or anything. I look at, like, because you have to be physically attracted to them to a certain degree. You do. And I look at, like, the way they word things and say things. There are red flags galore in that. And I just don't, and I try not to convey any weird I go full tilt, like, straightforward weird and shit, because I don't want people to think anything less. I want them to know that I'm weird, because I am. In this society, what I think and feel is weird. It's not a good thing either. The fact that I am viewed as such a weird person is not a good thing. When people look at me and put me, you put an artist or someone trying to drag the remnants of their dreams along behind them beyond the age of 25. They've not given up, It's, and you look at them in a negative light. It's sad, because that you shouldn't give up. Anyone shouldn't. Even if you have, like, anchored yourself with certain things like childbirth and other issues that are beyond your control, you still need to try to reach for some semblance of a dream and continue on. It's important, because you won't get it again. Even, and it's weird, even the people who believe in an afterlife should still try to chase their dreams, because I don't know if you've seen the afterlife of many fucking religions, but it's fucking boring and there's nothing there. Like, the Christian faith is just walking around gold streets. First off, opulence, that's a dead giveaway that it's fucking false. They want you to jizz at all the fucking cool gold and shit that are there. Like, first off, a god, there's no need to have gold. It's fucking cloud space. I don't fucking get it. It's stupid. You need to try to chase something. You don't have to go, tomorrow I want to be the president, or like tomorrow I need, but you need to have a healthy general chase. That's why I say be creative, because creativity keeps the mind in a state of amazement and not broken. You know, you can suffer from consuming too much, even if it is artsy, like you watch movies and TV that are artfully made. Yeah, good for you, but you need to also create. You need to also make something. You don't have to sell it. You know, you don't have to spend all waking hours of your day that you're not working crafting a hobby. But every now and again, have an hour to yourself where you know, glue some fucking wood together or something, or make something, you know, just something. Whatever floats your boat. Make some food, you know. Buy some spices, make some weird fucking food. Try to make some sourdough bread. Dumb shit, you know, be creative. And that's not dumb shit, but the point is like, in general, trying to, you know, inch around, you know. Attempting. It's good because it keeps you focused on at least something. All right. 4 hours. That's horrible. There, Earl. I'm sorry. I'm reading back. I was on my soapbox for a second. I'm going back and reading it. Well, Earl, you try to, you know, look at the. It's just you got to make that bliss here, because I'll tell you one fucking thing. There is happiness to be found in the world. But sadly, a lot of it, when it comes to any form of like governing powers, they don't want you to have a lot of it, if any, you know. Like it's tough to, I don't know, there's not enough hours in the day, you know. You got to do what you got to do, you know, and it's tough to do that. It's tough to try to, you know, because I can't, you know, it's like I know the problem, but I can't fix it, you know, like, you know, you see the problems, but you don't know how to fix them because you're one person, and then together it's, you know, it takes a lot, you know. But I will say it's good to try to do what you have to do, to cultivate a dream. Like, think about it. Think critically, like, what do you think would make you happy? And attempt it. You know, I know a lot of people run ragged with work and commitments and having children and stuff. They'll look at their existence and they'll think to themselves, like, I just want to sit on my fucking ass, you know, with what time I have. And that's the truth. Like, I do not prescribe or subscribe or proscribe or prolapse the idea and mentality of hustle culture, like grinding and grinding and grinding. I don't know, when you think about grinding, whether it be your teeth, whether it be a grinder on steel, one of the things to take away from the grinding analogy is that it alters you and it destroys you. If you've ever hit something with a grinder, you realize that it rips the fuck out of it and destroys it. It's not a good, you know, you're not, you know, it's not, this grinding is tearing away at you. So, you know, you gotta, when you do try to have time for yourself, it's good to think about what is something that you both will bridge the gap between enjoyment and creativity and stuff, and just try to, you know, make things happen. I don't know. So it's good to take time for yourself, whether it be writing or reading. And I will say indulging in creativity, like watching some movies and stuff, so long as you're doing it with the right context. Like, get excited about doing it. You know, if it's something you used to do, watch other people, you know, do it. I don't know, try to Because I will tell you, depression and life and shit can get so heavy on you that you don't want to do anything. And you got to force yourself to do stuff. The majority of the art that if you told me to look at all my pieces and point out my favorites, almost every one of them, almost every one in general, because I do enjoy all my artwork that doesn't really see the light of day. I throw it in the fucking garbage. But almost every piece did not come from any form of planning. Like zero planning. It all came from just sitting down and going, I want to stream and make some dumb shit happen. You know? That's it. That is 100% it. I'm not big on planning. I do like to plan things and make sure things are done correctly. Like when I do, like, if there's other things, like not like art or anything, I do like to plan. So, but when it comes to art, I just go nasty with it. I get in here and I just wade into it. Because it helps you. Especially if you're fighting like a despair and life is really heavy on you. Fucking taking the leap and just forcing yourself to do some art, even if it's good or bad, still feels good, because when I get done I look at it and I go, I made that, you know, that was made by me, creativity happened. You feel better. It's kind of like the gym and stuff. Like, even if you don't, like, it's good to go to the gym and be there and exist in the place and work out. You don't have to sling the biggest weight, you just have to be there and be present. You know, it's walking. Go for a walk. Clear your head. Don't look at your phone. Walk. Like, I see people walking the track when I go to the track or the park or whatever, and they're constantly on their phone or they got earbuds in listening and shit. Just to, I will say, like, you don't have to do it every time, but every now and again, slide it in your pocket and don't do shit. Just walk. Have a conversation with yourself. Your brain working is a conversation with itself. You don't have to have them complex, like, arguments, but think. Look at the world. Wonder why a squirrel is biting its balls, you know? Wonder how long ago that husk of that beetle, you know, has been hanging on that pine tree. Smell the air. Like, you have nostrils that smell things. Just smell sometimes. Just... and be present. Like, we smell a lot of shit, and the only time we stop is if we smell a fart or something that's really heinous. Smell the air that is just around you in the park or places. Just, you know, exist. Like, and that'll help you with a lot of things, and it helps you get creative. Sometimes it humbles you in a way that is, it's hard to realize, because I've said it before on the stream. Sometimes you know, you just need to look at a tree. And I know it sounds crazy because we walk by them all the time. We don't look at them. But, it's weird just to see the world and you're like, shit, I'm existing right now. Existence is happening around me. People are around me. You know? Babies are crying. People are farting in the Walmart checkout line. Like, existence is just happening. It's fucking wild. It's a fascinating thing, and it'll both humble you and amaze you, really, if you think about it. Like, you know, you learn in history of, like, Caesars and all these people, but you never really, you know, you think to yourself, like, there was a person like me that wasn't Caesar, or wasn't this person or that. Like, there were countless fucking people that existed, and, you know, before I existed, and will exist after I exist. It's fucking insanity. It's a fascinating fucking thing. You know, I remember when I was growing up, when I would go places like at school, or sometimes at you know, when I did do church stuff, like, I wouldn't recommend it. But I was a kid and was forced to do it. I would look at people, like, you see people all day long, like even your friends and relatives, and as an artist, I do this a lot now. Sometimes, like, you don't really look at a person. You know, your brain gets the gist, and your brain just automatically programs the person's face, you know? And it does this all the time. There's proof in it, like the fact that, like, say you've not seen a friend in a long time, right? And they've lost a lot of weight or gained a lot of weight, and then you see them, and your mind has to reshuffle everything and make them again in your memory. And sometimes if you just look at someone's face, you can see details and stuff that you never did. You really don't look at someone's face so much as you just glance over it, process it, and your brain makes like a quick reference to it. So if you see that person's face in a busy street, you're like, oh, fuck, there's so-and-so, you know? But like looking at someone's face, really absorbing the looks of someone. Stop doing that to me. Don't do that to me right now. I don't want you guys to get too fucking erect from the beauty. But it's fascinating that examples like that show that we don't absorb things really. We don't think about things too closely. Sometimes we just kind of just rush over shit with anything. It's for a good reason, because we need to be able to not have to sit for 45 minutes and program shit and think about shit and see every detail of a person's face. You know what I'm saying? It's, like an evolutionary trait, I suppose. It's kind of like not seeing your nose, yet it's right in the middle of your face. Like when you blink, like you can't really see it. Like it stitches together like what you're looking at through your eyes, which is fascinating already. But the point I'm driving towards is that every now and again it's good to take a breather, think about things, examine stuff. Go when you're walking in the park, think to yourself, what is my next move? And never think, and I have to do this all the time. This is something that's coming straight from Patrick. You can't fill the bucket all at one time. It's a drop at a time. There's opportunities with help from others and maybe monetary stuff that can add a cup at a time or 2 cups at a time or a good little shovelful at a time. But at the most, you need to keep it within reason and understand it's a drop at a time. Take small bites, so to speak, when it comes to a sandwich. You don't want to choke to death. So you have to think about things like that. You have to think a drop at a time, because especially with me, and especially if someone is like anxious or like ADHD, lists and shit. It's important to go slow. Because if you command too much out of yourself, you're going to fail. If you command too little out of yourself, you're going to fail, because believe me, I know that. So you have to do... You have to figure out that happy medium, and like, don't be too demanding of yourself, especially in today's society with the way that the world works. It's wired to look at you fucked up, for what you believe in and what you think about. It's been a wiring that's happened long before I was born. Even before the United States and things like that. Like, they want you to... Especially, I feel like capitalism really ushered it in well and truly, but... So, yeah, you gotta do, you gotta just give all your money to, Patrick. And, start walking the earth. I think that's what I'm driving towards. And buying art. Buy some art, people. It's very important. We got but a few more days till Pat-tober, so get hyped for that. Now you have to tithe. It's part of no gods, but a conviction to yourself and the understanding of the world. Paying it forward, doing a kindness to people, existing in a way, That's how life works. How can you reap a crop of good fortune if you don't plant the seeds of good fortune? And by doing so, I mean, helping Patrick. I'm not ignoring it. Let's get some white out now. It is time. It is time. Fertilize those seeds with your poop. That you do. That you do. That you do. Jackie Moon, ladies and gentlemen. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Crop theft. Don't listen to, this is the most important thing if everyone's listening. Don't ever listen to Beardvorkian or Devil Beast. Unless he says that. That's perfectly fine. He can say by my warrant. Even a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and again. And Beardvorkian's got the big nut of knowing when to buy art, folks. Get on in there. Big old nut. Big old nut. I just wanted to keep saying big old nut there for a minute. I don't want to get too... I'll go crazy with the wine out. Be conservative with it. One second.